So now we are going to see what are the exceptions of the fundamental rights. So Article 19 is about it guardians the citizens of the India the following 6 fundamental freedoms. First is the freedom of speech and expression. So here freedom of speech and expression, the exception is in areas like hospital, curfew areas, police areas, private areas, in polling areas. You are not allowed to do such things that leads to commit crime by themselves or by others. Means here in such areas you cannot use the freedom of speech and expression. Next is the freedom of assembly. So here exception is the assemblies which can disturb the peace or which leads to commit crime, then such assemblies cannot be formed or allowed. Carrying weapons in assemblies is not allowed. You should have specific reason or permission to carry it. But in the Hindu pujas, means its exception is that in Hindu pujas assembly, the trishul is a weapon, but it is used for the purpose of puja or for the religious activities. Then here the weapon is allowed. So this is an exception. Means you should have the reason or you should have the permission to carry the weapons or the things which are not allowed generally in the assembly. Next is the in areas like the hospitals, curfew areas, research centers, near the police stations or the schools. You cannot form the assembly. You have to take first permission, then you can form the assembly. So these are the exceptions of freedom of assembly. Then next is the freedom to form association. Such associations are not allowed which cause nuisance, which destroys the national property, public property. Purpose should be lawful, then only it will be allowed. Next is the freedom of movement. So exception is in private areas, curfew areas, police department means office, in polling areas, in the government areas, in assemblies, such assemblies. You are not allowed to roam in such areas if you don't have the permission or if you are not the member of the department. So you don't have the permission to move or have a movement in such areas. This is the exception of the freedom of movement. Next is the freedom of residence. So if you don't have the permission to live of residence, then you cannot settle there. You cannot build your building, house or in any another's property or on the government areas. It can be declared as a illegal construction. This is the exception of freedom of residence. Then freedom of trade and occupation. So in this exception is government make certain laws or reservations for the certain minority backward classes for their upliftment or arisement so they can become equal. So in this way we cannot say that the government is making the partiality or discrimination. Next is the Article 20. Article 20 is about the protection in respect of conviction for offence. Now in that there are 3 facts. First is the no ex post facto law, no double jeopardy and no self-incrimination. This is the 3 provisions. First is the protection against ex post facto laws. So no person can be punished if the committed act is lawful. The acts which are unlawful, but only when the person is punished, only when the act is punished as a crime in a law. If the act is not mentioned as a crime, we cannot punish the person. For that act, new laws should be made and then only we can punish that person. If the laws don't exist, then we cannot punish the criminal. Means if the laws are not there of the certain crime, then first we have to implement that laws and then we are going to punish that person. For today's dates, only we can punish that person. The law has prospective effect and not a retrospective effect. The person will not be punished for his past deeds, and when such acts are not mentioned in the laws, then also the person cannot be punished. Means it's about the protection against ex post facto laws. Means the main points of the ex post facto laws are here. The person cannot be punished beyond the crime. Person will be punished within the law. The act should be exist in law. The act should be mentioned in a law and according to it only you will get the punishment. If the committed act is a crime but it is not mentioned in a law, if it does not exist in a law, then Government cannot give the punishment to the person. These are the main points of the ex post facto law. This is the first provision. Second provision is protection against double jeopardy. Means for 2 or 3 crimes, not you are going to get the 2 or 3 punishments. Only one punishment will be given. The one case should be tried in only one court. You cannot try or apply the same case in 2 or 3 courts. If the person commits 2 or 4 crimes and if the nature is different for all crimes there is a no different punishment. Only one punishment will be given to the person according to his severity of the crime. This is called a double jeopardy. And once you are punished, then again you will not be tried for that case again. No person can become a witness in his own case. No person can become a witness in his own case. This is called the self-incrimination. So these were the 3 main provisions of the Article 20, protection in respect of the conviction for offence. First is the no ex post facto law, second no double jeopardy, and third no self-incrimination.